Hello there, everyone. Sorry for that slight delay. I had gone and set everything up, got distracted, turned around, and it was time to begin the stream, and I hadn't actually gotten the game up, and my mic had disconnected, and a dozen other things happen every time I start one of these. But we're live now. Hello there, everyone, and welcome back to SRB2. We're doing another character replay stream to test out all of the characters I've played over the 5 or so years playing the game, ready for the eventual 5k subscriber special, which will hopefully be soon enough. We have 3 characters on today's stream: Henry Stickmin, Pepper, and Bubsy. 2 of these characters are basically joke characters, or at the very least are very simplistic. Pepper especially has apparently got basically nothing to them. Henry Stickmin does have a fair bit, so we're going to leave him to last, but we'll start with Pepper. This is by can't remember the name. I had just gone and checked all of these mods and who they were made by. Can't remember who made Pepper though. But point is they're just a Tumblr character, from what I can gather, that the mod's creator liked and decided to make into an SRB2 mod. Beyond that though, I don't think there's much to them. You can see the entirety of their moveset already in this state. They can spin dash, they have a jump thock sort of thing like that, and that's it. That is all they can do. There really isn't much to them. So we're really not going to spend too much time on them, because I got less than nothing to say about this. I mean, even in the character ranking, it's going to be a quick entry. It's like, what do you want me to say? They look like they're from some sort of hardware store mascot. Like an IKEA mascot. And that's about it. I mean, I suppose the sprites are well made. They look pretty good at translating the character design into SRB2. The hands especially, considering how little space they've got to work with them. They work quite well. Their little stubby feet as well, I think, are quite cute. But again, it really does just come down to design, which isn't really something that I'm looking at in the character ranking, just for the sake of, to an extent, fairness. Maybe that's not exactly fair, because there are a lot of characters that are there and are considered good because of their design, or are significantly are viewed as significantly better as they would otherwise be because of it. But yeah, generally speaking, I'm not looking at the designs of characters all too much, or the sprite work. I'm looking mostly on the gameplay side of things. Knock you out. There, boom. Easy fight. I think with Bubsy and Henry Stickmin we might get some custom stages. Because, again, as much as I like SRB2, I have been doing it for a while, there's only so many times you can run through the main storyline. I'm doing it very often at the moment between reviewing mods and doing these character replay things. I've seen Techno Hill in Greenflower Mountain too many times to count. I see it more often than I see my family. It's getting a bit ridiculous. I can't keep doing this. So we'll be getting some custom levels up, I think, for the other 2 characters. And I think in general it'll also be a fairly short stream in comparison to some others. Just because, again, we got 2 effectively joke characters to get through. There's not going to be much to them. Like Japan Aviation Too Much says, my laptop gave up on me weeks ago, so I can't play SRB2 anymore. Unfortunate. I remember when my old PC was dying, I could tell because it would randomly start crashing while playing SRB2, which generally isn't something that any relatively modern PC should be doing. I mean, SRB2 built on the Doom engine, built on a version of the Doom engine that came out like 2001, 2004. No relatively modern PC should be crashing playing it, but it was. It was struggling to hit 30 frames per second. It was generally somewhere between 25 and like a weird, it was like, it would be a relatively stable 29.999964 yada 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 yada, and it's like, what? Why don't you just round that up to a 30? What's limiting me from hitting 30? But it's very good at keeping a stable 29.9964 yada yada. It's like, what? But yeah, that was how I could tell that my old PC was dying, because it was like, this can't be right. That and the fact that I was playing Sonic GT and I heard the sound of an explosion coming from it, and all of a sudden my frame rate fell off a cliff. That was the other way I knew it was going. Or it had gone. The fact that it had literally exploded in the corner of my room. I was like, oh yeah, okay, might need to get a replacement. Now I've got a fancy new one that can do everything, and for which I only test it by playing SRB2 and then games from the Sega Mega Drive and Genesis Classic, so it's not really working as much as it could do. I'll go this way just because it's a more interesting route. That bottom one, if you don't have the ability to skip it, it's pretty boring. Detons are pretty interesting. As much as they are the fastest enemies in the game, they don't actually have variable speed. So every other enemy in the game has a single speed that they follow at all times in all contexts. So a crawler, for example, I think has a speed of 2 or 3 frac units. I think it's 2 frac units. And then the red crawler is something like 3 or 4. And that's as fast as they can move. The Detons are an interesting exception in that their speed is based on the speed of the player character. So I believe it is 75%. It's either 75% or 90% of the player character's top speed is the speed that the Detons move at. So if a character is very, very slow, like Pepper, a Deton's actually quite slow, but if they're very, very fast, like Modern Sonic, they're actually still quite slow, because Modern Sonic's fast because of the boost, which I don't think is counted in your top speed, but you get the idea. Faster a character, faster the Detons move. Which is how the game avoids you getting just completely decimated by them if you're playing as a slower character. With the interesting quirk that if you're playing as a particularly fast one, well, all of a sudden it can barely keep up with you, because most fast characters don't actually have particularly impressive high top speeds. They're just got boosts or whatever. So I should really be checking that they can't do something on one of their custom buttons. I think we'll do Deep Sea and then we'll move on to Bubsy, who we're also not going to spend too much time on, but that's less so because there's little to talk about, and more so because I remember him being really annoying, and I don't want to be spending any more time than I have to with him. It's less of a case of there's nothing to talk about, and more just a case of I don't want to talk about it. Although Bubsy is getting a new game in the near future, called Bubsy 4D something. There's a subtitle. There's a there's hyphenation and whatever, and I can't remember what that bit is. But The only reason I know about that is because right around that point where everyone started going and complaining constantly, just all of the time, about how Sonic still didn't have a new model. That game was revealed. Bubsy had a new model, and people were like, oh, come on, even he can get a new one, and we're still stuck with the one from 2005? Ridiculous. Let's get that, because I think we might be drowning here. It's going pretty well, actually. I think we might... As long as we don't hit the mines on the way down, I reckon we can spin dash to the end. And we'll be fine. Yep, fine. Perfect. No worries. Whoa. We'll not go that way. I don't think Pepper's going to have the speed to make it up the ramp. Soon into it. We'll just go the normal way. Kind of had our momentum clipped by the waterfall there. I've never seen that happen before. Yeah, the problem with Pepper, and I think that, I mean, again, they're not that interesting in any way, but I think a big part of the reason why they are so boring is the fact that there's no way to increase your speed as them. Like, Pepper does not move fast, and unless they're just spin dashing constantly, there's no way that you're improving the speed. And messing this up. There we go. There we go. Like, unless you're an expert and you're able to take advantage of every single hill you fall down, and every single time you might be stuck in place and have to use the spin dash, you're just not getting any speed, especially when the jump thock. If you are going above your top speed because of this or that or whatever, it just gets rid of it all. So there's just really nothing here. Let's see how this goes. Yep, got it. Drowning again, but it's fine. We'll just be slowly and deliberately lifted out of the water, and it's fine. Might struggle on this bit. I think we're just going to have to spin dash again. Just to make our way over the lip, because Pepper is again very, 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 very slow. Though I'm not exactly helping here. I'm not doing my best work. Right. Then we'll do this. We'll fight the sea egg, and then we'll move on to Bubsy. They're noticing that their sideways water sprites are a little bit strange. Like, from the back it's pretty normal, but then from the side it's like a bit off. Not quite sure why, but you know, is what it is. Leave it at that. And I noticed, I just realised how many, we've got 2 black and white stick figures in today's episode. I mean, Pepper, pretty spindly. Black limbs, white body. And then we got Henry Stickmin in a moment, who's also white body, black limbs. Let's get this over and done with. The good thing about the jump thock, maybe its only use, is the fact that you can kind of use it to redirect your momentum after hitting them. Go backwards, and I'm getting a ton of points here, and I'm not quite sure how. I think I'm just getting through this without getting hit. I'm just keeping a ton of rings. But with that, we're gonna call it there on Pepper. I mean, we didn't see all that much, but there's nothing to them, so I don't think we need to see more. Custom maps. Who do we use? They're a kind of a comedy character, so let's go and get a comedy map up for them. Let's do Sonic Adventure Genesis. Now, Bubsy, I haven't played any of their games before. Not exactly something that interests me. But the basic idea is that they're really annoying. And they can also... Yeah, so their voice lines are constantly playing when you really don't want them to be. I think you're getting the idea of how they play. Didn't mean for this to happen. Oh, okay. Right, so yeah, basic idea of Bubsy. Really annoying. Make a ton of sound effects when you just kind of want them to shut up. And then also gets damaged by any enemy in a single hit. So we've already died here, but if we try and land on them, yeah. If you have take any sort of damage, it would usually just cause you to lose your rings. You just die immediately. So you want to avoid that as much as possible.
Knuckles, you won't be relevant for the next Sonic game.
You can just go in here. We don't need to go back over that way. The only thing that he can do, ability-wise, is a kind of a glide, as you can see here.
We need you to travel back to 1998 and stop it.
Which you can use to avoid taking fall damage, because, yeah, fall damage in a platformer. Not great. Probably shouldn't have picked a level that already has a ton of voice lines and sound effects, because I get the feeling this is going to get really, really annoying very quickly. Alright. Sega 1998. I can't remember when Bubsy 3D came out. Don't know whether that was... I think that was 1998. But yeah, there is really nothing here. Which, again, from what I can gather, for Bubsy, pretty accurate. But it is very boring. Sega 1998. So that's going to be... I can't even remember, but they're in SRB2 and then of course Rouge in Shadow for Sonic Adventure 2 in the near future from this point. And I think I'm lost. Fantasy Zone, actually linked to the next game I'm going to be playing, Space Harrier 2. There we go. Now it's going to take us up. Don't know what went wrong initially there. Oh, can actually go in here this time. Oh, it's annoying me already. Burrows into your head.
I need your clothes, your Mickey Mouse flip-flops, and your bicycle.
Just trying to skip. It looks like if you press spin and jump at the same time, that skips. Right. Speed through here. We need to go to the train station.
Please board the train and wait for departure.
Hey, you wanna take a walk? Hey, you.
I don't actually know how far you have to fall to take full damage.
Hey, you wanna gimme.
They make it out like it's a pretty small distance. Right, and that should open the way to the exit, I believe. Oh well, that's survivable.
Hey, you wanna take a
And then I think, yes, it's here, I believe.
This area is under construction.
No?
This area is under construction.
Okay then, not there. Is it over here? No. This bit always gets me. I don't know why this specific area is the one I always forget my way in. I think this warp place just leads down to a, yes, emblem. I don't think it's there. Oh. But yeah, they really don't have anything on any other buttons, even on like your toss flags and your fires. Ah, right, along here. That's it. Even like your toss flags and your fires and fire normals and all the rest of that. None of that does anything. You really are just stuck with this guy. Oh, continue. Didn't mean to trigger that. Skip that, please. But of course, as the pro SRB2 player I am, none of Bubsy's gimmicks really affect me, because I'm just not going to take damage. He says. I don't know how long the glide float lasts for, so I don't know whether it's a case of if you glide too long, then you're gonna die because he just kind of gives up on using it, or what. Don't know what happened there. Yeah, I'm not gonna take damage, Baconski says. Yeah. Yeah, don't know what happened there. It's going to be a bit annoying if Bubsy just dies to random level gimmicks, because that might cut us off early again. I was kind of hoping, even with all of this, to try and at least get to the end of this level pack before moving on to Henry Stickmin, but if that's impossible, then, well, I might just have to skip it. Let's go slowly this time. No, they really are just going to die every time, aren't they? We like... You kidding me? Like, just... The entire area. Wow. I was expecting him to struggle in levels. I wasn't expecting him to just outright die going into automated sections. Alright, well, there you go then. We're what, 25 minutes into the stream and we've already seen 2 characters. Well, I guess we're doing this with Henry Stickmin now. Yeah, that was that. That's 2 characters done already. It's going to be a very quick stream. The Future Hog says, hey, hello there, Future Hog. Good to see you. Now, Henry Stickmin's easily the most interesting character we've got in today's level pack. Because they do a pretty good job of replicating the whole, like, different abilities and stuff from the actual Henry Stickmin games. So, you of course have a gun. It's technically free aim, but I'm struggling to that. I didn't mean to trigger that, so... He also has the famous dance on, I think it's toss flag. I've got all of these buttons listed to various things, so I'm not quite sure which one is which, but I believe this one's toss flag. To trigger that, we have the slightly cynical 2017 era Sonic stuff. Remember that this level pack is from like 2021, 2022, so we hadn't seen anything from Frontiers at this point. So I think everyone was a fair bit more cynical about Sonic's direction at this current stage.
You're not the real Knuckles. I created you for a special mission.
Now, as you can see, Henry Stickmin generally outside of the gun is pretty weak, but once we get to the next level, I'll start showing you some of the other stuff you can do.
Stop it.
Fortunately, you can't shoot Sonic. Right, leave it there. Should be able to skip. Come on. Already seen this now.
I'm here to see us out of the corner.
But there you go. Skip all of that. Now we are in the next level. Eventually, yes, there we go. Right, you did see it just a moment ago, but Custom 1 brings up the item select menu, and you have 4 options. You have the scooter, you have the jetpack, the teleporter, and you got the gravity inverter. I think we'll begin with the gravity inverter, because I get the feeling it's not going to be very useful in later stages.
The next Sonic game will
I
now
believe
go into
it is, yes, triangle to, as you can guess from the name gravity inverter, invert gravity. Like so. You can do this as many times as you wish. Curious what happens if we go into an automated section. Like this, upside down. I suppose you can just fall it. And as you can see, we can just run around on ceilings and the like. For as long as we want. Easy. Easier than with Bubsy. Don't even need to worry about the elevator not working. We can just skip it entirely. Skip, 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 skip. Right, and with this one, we are going to try out the scooter. Now the scooter, as you might have gathered, as you might have guessed, increases our speed, but reduces our jump height. So, and you also lose the ability to shoot, I believe. So you just have to attack enemies by ramming into them. But generally, this is probably the item you're going to be sticking with most often. There you go with that. Now we know the way around this level, so it should be a lot faster. And into Windy Valley we go. Frozen Hillside Zone unlocked. Yeah, whatever. Obviously resetting emblems for going into a mod. Right, with this one we'll trigger our next item, the jetpack. It does pretty much the opposite of the scooter. You slow down, but now you can use the jetpack to get to higher places. Problem is it has a chance to fail, either at certain heights or just generally speaking. It can just give up and stop working. So you gotta be a little bit careful using it over bombless pits and the like, because it can do something like that where it just gives up immediately. I was gonna say it looks like it's every 3 times you use it, but it does look like it might just be kind of somewhat randomized when it'll trigger. Adam452S says, are you playing that Sega Genesis mod right now? No, I am playing the Roger Van der Wade level pack Sonic Adventure Genesis. It's a pretty old one, to be honest. It's a little bit outdated at this point, but it's just one of the modded levels I happen to have loaded up, so I go back on it when I don't want to just be playing vanilla SRB2 over and over and over again. Can I have a bit of a hot take here? That's not going all the way. A little bit of a hot take from me here, but I don't really like Sonic Adventure's music all that much. I find it generally a bit dull. For the most part, I never really liked all that much. Compared to Sonic Adventure 2, which I think is a much stronger of a soundtrack. I think the only one that I really love from the original Sonic Adventure is probably Open Your Heart. I do think Open Your Heart, potentially another hot take here, but I think Open Your Heart's stronger than Live and Learn. We're going to drop the jetpack because I think it's the slow speed that's screwing us over on these springs and wind tunnels and all the rest of that. And we'll drop it for the scooter. Make the jumps a bit easier. Oh, that was stupid of me. This mod gets so weird after the zone, I think. Correct. It gets pretty strange. But first we actually have to get out of this zone. But yeah, not... Oh yes, and you also have custom death messages. That's the other thing I wasn't thinking of. Need to actually pick up some rings this time. I thought, I'll be honest, I thought they were just in the chat, in the console chat. I didn't realize they had like a full screen thing. That's pretty cool. There we go. And with that, we can drop that, grab some rings. Or to fly off the edge of the screen ends at give up. Sonic123 and asks, JackalMan, why don't you try SRB2 the past? I've told you already several times now that I'm planning on getting to it, but these are character replay streams. I'm checking out old characters. I don't have any point where I'm going to be realistically looking at modded levels at this stage. So, I'll get to SRB2 the past in the future, but not, ironically enough, but not quite yet. We'll drop that and get the scooter again. Right, there we go. Whoa, every time. Where do we fail? Pro tip, look before you leap. Yeah, okay, whatever. Oh, again? Is there really no checkpoint at any point in the rest of this level? No, I guess we'll try out the final thing, which is the teleporter. This teleports you to a random location in the level. Completely randomized. It can send you anywhere. Like, for example, here. You can't use things twice in a row, it looks like. Is this out of the level completely? Ah. I figured we'd just be able to walk back out, but it appears not. And we're really screwed this time. And we can't even... right, if we just try and use the gravity inverter and maybe just clip ourselves out. Let's see. Nope, we're even more stuck. Drop that. Try the teleporter again. No, is the teleporter just a second? Is that it? Is that just it? Gone for the rest of the level. Yeah, so this is the potential risk of playing as Henry Stickmin, is that the teleporter can just send you into some random location that you then can't get back out of. Which is especially a problem if you're on no save mode and you are out of lives. So you're just completely stuck here. I don't really know what to do here. Maybe we just return to title. Do I have level select unlocked on this area yet? I guess we'll do Frozen Hillside. And then I think I might just call the stream there. I'm pretty tired of showing all of the characters. There just isn't much to talk about with most of these guys. We'll try the teleporter out again. See how that goes this time. Where is it going to take us this time? As such, you can just immediately die if it teleports you out of the level completely, not just, you know, sort of kind of out there. It can just outright kill you. The scooter as well, a little bit awkward to use, but you can just about manage to get up to places with it. Very dicey, but you can use it a little bit in platforming areas. Right, and I think we're going to drop that and we're going to have to replace it with the jetpack. As you can see here, you are vulnerable for the period of time it takes for Henry to change his currently selected item. Right, I think we're... yeah, there we go. Finally get some... oh, come on. I'm trying to get some rings here. There we go. Took long enough. Just barely dodged out of the way of everything. But eventually got them. Right, and with that, right, I've got a couple of things to say before we finish the stream entirely. Firstly, I don't think I'm gonna continue doing these, or at least not for the foreseeable. I think I'm just going to do at least a couple of characters off screen. Just run through them just a bit more quickly, because this is really cutting into the time I need to edit videos and do other things. So I think we're gonna pause at the very least the SRB2 character replay streams for the foreseeable, just while I get some other things finished. So streams might continue in the future, but for now they're on pause. At least the SRB2 ones. Second thing, next playthrough is Space Harrier 2. I'm checking that out currently. It'll be soon enough that I begin it. Hopefully tomorrow, who knows. And then finally, if you're not following me on social media, you might not have seen this, but I have begun editing the next SRB2 review. Finally, it took me a while. But the script's finally finished, and I began working on it now that I'm back in front of my PC yesterday. It's looking to be about 15, 16 minutes long, probably, by the end of it. I'm currently about 2 minutes edited through. I'm hoping to do a little bit more later on today. Hopefully, maybe get, like, at least the first bit of the review proper. The introduction's edited and ready. It's now the actual review part of it, the pros and the cons and all the rest of that. That is going to be SRB2 Generations, which seems to at least be within the speedrunning community a fairly popular mod. But yeah, sorry for the shorter stream today, guys. Characters picked. It's a roulette wheel. We get a random selection of 3 characters. They weren't very conducive for, like, a long stream, I wasn't really feeling motivated to just keep playing them. So, yeah. Anyway, I know it wasn't a particularly long one, but thank you for tuning in regardless. I hope you enjoyed it, tired though I am, and I'll see you next time, whenever that may be. Whether that's the playthrough, whether that's the SRB2 Generations review, whether that's when I begin the streams again. So, yeah. Thanks for sticking around. Hope to see you next time. But for now, adios and ciao. See you guys later.